future and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Happy Monday, happy new week.
Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside, inside,
Happy Monday. I hope we are good. Welcome.
Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
We are good. Happy Monday. Salukwe, I see you. Is it look? Saluk? Actually, because I keep thinking in a different way. Saluk, I hope. Good evening. Hello. You are welcome. You have to help me with this, your name. Is it Salukwe or Saluk? So that I don't keep calling the wrong name. Good evening to you. I hope you are good. Happy New Week. Happy New Week to you. Abby, I see you. Oh, sis. Wow. It's going to be a great day today. I see you, Merchant. Wealthy Merchant, my dear sister. How have you been? How's the family? Longest time. I hope you are good. It's great to see you here on Insight with FunmiRoyal today, this beautiful Monday the Lord has made. Indeed, we ought to rejoice and be glad in it. King Ade, I see you. Thank you so much. Is loop. If I go by English, loop. So I don't know. That doesn't sound like a diagraph because it's oo. Oo is a diagram by itself. Oo and E. I bet you'll be wondering what is this woman talking about. Never mind. You can always tell when you have the teaching spirit on the inside of it. Sounds funny. So I'm going to take a salute. It's not sounding right, but I think so. But all the same, you're welcome. I hope your weekend was nice. Good to see you here. Another day. Beautiful Monday. Sun shining today. I really love the weather today. It was good. Thank God. Wealthy Merchants, please say hello on that screen. I just want to be sure it's you. I know it's you. But how have you been? Happy many years. It's been a long time. My goodness, I can't believe this. Hi sis, how are you? My goodness, is this you? Is this the real you? Wow. I hope you're good. I know, longest time indeed. Yeah. Wow. I see your posts on Instagram, on the social media. Once in a while, I just like and see what you've been up to. I see you with your business mindset, really making waves out there. I am fine, thank you. Abby, sis, it's like maybe I should log off and log back on, then I'll know it's you for real. But no, just kidding. It's good to see you. I'm good. I hope the family is good as well. Good to see you here. And I hope I'll see more of you here as well. I mean, but come and support your sister here. Yeah. Salud, Abio, good. Thank you. I hope you're good as well. Opa, I see you. Thanks so much for joining. Everybody, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you're joining from. Thank you so much for joining us here on Inside today. Like I always say, it's the day the Lord has made. You know, sometimes you're feeling down, you know, life is just throwing all sorts at you, but you just have to keep trusting in God and keep hoping. You can see the topic for today, change. That is what any human will want to hope for, not just change, a positive change at that. So this is our topic for today, and as usual, I'm going to be giving my talk just to put a bit of perspective to it. Good to see you, well done. You're doing great job. More grace. Amen, sis. Thank you so much for that prayer. Thank you. Tea Delight Cook Houses. Hey, my goodness. In fact, I'm beginning to see how today is going to be a wonderful day indeed. Mimat Posh, I see you. Tea Delight, don't run away. I think I saw you one of those days, but I was trying to bring you up. I couldn't find you again, but I trust you're good. How are my children? And how is hobby? Yeah, good evening, sis. Well done. We didn't see you this Easter, no. What happened, sis? And my special that pepper stuff is between us, never mind. Thank you so much. I'm still remembering the one, you know, the last time. Very, very scrumptious. Thank you so much, sis. I hope you're good. How are the children? How's the family as well? I trust everyone is keeping well by the grace of God. We are good here. We thank God. I know. See, she's laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I hope business is booming as well. Okay, thank God. Everybody's good. Good to hear that. Thank you so much. It's nice seeing you stop by and even chatting and engaging on Insights today. Very, very appreciated. Thank you so much. Tongues of Fire, you are welcome. You know, I can do this all evening, but I have to go to the topic as well. But all the same, thank you so much. As you're joining in, please help tap. That is the first or fastest way you can share this live to other people. Let them be part of our talk today. And today on Monday, we look at individual topics or topical issues relating to individuals. Yeah, people corporately can, a husband and wife can, a friend can, and all of that. But change is one constant thing in life. Change is inevitable. It's bound to happen. Sometimes we find the universe forcing us in a particular direction. Sometimes this change is an intentional decision. You make up your mind that you just want to change and you go about making that change happen. So we're going to be looking at aspects of change today and how, if care is not taken, if we don't pay attention to this word change, there may be some sort of stagnancy in one's life, and nobody wants to be stagnant. You know, we want to move from grace to grace, from glory to glory by the grace of God. And sometimes change is hard. We struggle, you know, sometimes like, oh, I'm just okay in my comfort zone and all of that. We just want to stay there. But change is inevitable. Change, especially for good, because sometimes change could be for, you know, yeah, we're going to balance this talk here today. I hope you hang around. Let's put a bit of perspective to it so that we are somewhat focused today. And once again, you're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. Thank you so much. Ready Wife. Oh, Ready Wife. How are you? Thanks for joining. Jane, I see you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Please help tap so that others can, you know, join us here. And let's talk about these issues of life that may affect individuals, you know, from progressing in life, or that may affect them in one area or another in their lives. Let's talk about it. Perhaps you haven't really thought about it, or perhaps there's a sort of change you're picturing in your mind, and how to go about it seems so difficult. Let us sit and talk about it here on Inside today, because we ought to grow from grace to grace. Like I said, the Heaven End. I see you. I can't say the full name, but thank you so much for joining. So I'm going to go into my talk today. Please hang about. I have one question at the end where we can start from. And I actually didn't bring any puzzle today, but if I need one, I might have to quickly go into my archives and bring one in case the topic gets heated up. We never can tell. So I'll just go into the talk, and hopefully you're listening and, kind of self-reflecting. It has to do with me, it has to do with you. Some changes, like I said, it's hard. Some we know we have to make that change. We're not having peace of mind because we're not making that change. What is stopping us? Why are we procrastinating? Why are we dragging our feet? Why is it so challenging? Is there a stumbling block? Is there something stopping us from making that change? All of those things we're going to be looking at today. Thank you so much, Delight. And also you can click down for about 2 seconds on your screen. Some names will pop up. Just click send to all of them straight away. I mean, you get to invite other people as well. So, like I said, change is an inevitable part of life. From the moment we are born, we experience constant shifts, growth, learning, challenges, and transformations of diverse forms. I mean, if everybody were to sit here now and talk about the kind of changes they've experienced in their life, some good, some not too good, some fantastic, that has been a life-changing experience, all sorts. But whichever way, change is inevitable, and it's also part of life as well. So yet when we talk about change from an individual perspective, it becomes much more personal, it becomes profound, and sometimes even painful, like I said. So how we understand, approach, and navigate change defines not just our success, but also our peace, our fulfillment, and growth as an individual. Like I said, change can happen to an individual, an organization, a family, a friendship, and all sorts happen. And let's be positive minded tonight. So let's look at what is change. And I'm looking at it from an individual perspective today. Like I say, on Mondays, we look at topics relating to you and I as an individual and how we can do better by ourselves and people around us all together. So change at an individual level refers to the adjustments, the adaptations, and transformations a person undergo internally and also externally. It can involve so many areas of our lives, attitudes and beliefs, our habits and behavior. Some people will say, or maybe your friend have said, this is your bad habit. They say old habits die hard. But let it die, especially the bad habits, and pick up new ones. Unlearn, learn, relearn good habits if you must. And again, change can involve career paths and relationships, physical health and emotional resilience. Some may say, you know what? Even though my doctor have not said this, but I just feel I need to feel more healthy. Some might decide, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. Some may say, I need to increase my exercise level. You're just making that change, a positive change to help you in your daily living, in your life generally. I see you, Pressure More. Thanks for joining. Ernestina, good to see you. I hope you're good. I hope our weekend was lovely. Good to see us here. Again, change can be personal goals and dreams as well. Yeah, I hope you're good. Hello to you too. So it's not simply about circumstances shifting around us, like the world is just changing, you're just there in that constant. No, it's about who we become in that process. Sometimes change can come to us and we might feel we're comfortable, but you find out that change that has come needs a change back from you. So whether you like it or not, you just have to change to fit in that environment. Otherwise, one might just be most miserable. That is just an example. So why is personal change so important, or why is change so important? Bishop Olufemi, I see you. Oh, wow. Good evening, sir. Hey, like I said, it's going to be a great day today. I see all these powerful men and women of God stopping by on Inside today. I really feel blessed, honestly. Thank you, sir. It's been a while as well. I hope you're good. And the family as well. Good to see you, sir. You're welcome to Inside. Wow, so why is personal change so important, or why is change so important? I mean, as you're hearing me right now, you think back the changes that you've experienced, just even think back the last decade, the last 10 years, some changes you've observed. Maybe you do things more intentionally now. Maybe you're even kinder. Maybe, there must be something you can actually say, I've changed. Or perhaps you picked up a new business or a new career or something. I mean, if you check, you'll find out that something changed some time ago, or probably it's just happening to you right now. So it's very important because it brings about growth. Paulina, I see you. Without change, there is no growth. Without change, there is no growth. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to develop. Like I said, it could be a personal thing, could be a career move. It could be, a purchase, could be an investment or something. Something changed. And you find out that, wow, the things you didn't know before, as a result of this change, you now know. Even change could be like knowledge is power in a way as well, as long as you're positive minded. Change is also important because it brings about adaptability. Life throws unexpected events. Adaptability keeps us moving forward. Sometimes you might look back, an incident in particular happened, and you thought that was going to be the end of you. And you found out that looking back now, wow, how did you survive that? It was a huge change or a huge shift in your life, and you thought, oh, how you could never survive this. But now, sitting here listening to me right now, you found out you were able to adapt. Of course, it could have taken time. Of course, it would have taken effort, a lot of discomfort and all of that. But now you're okay, you're comfortable. You were able to adapt to what life threw at you. And that keeps you moving and kind of even encourages you for more changes that will come your way. So this brings about fulfillment. Change brings about fulfillment. Like I said, let's be positive minded. Real satisfaction really comes often from pushing beyond our comfort zone, because sometimes they're just comfortable. If it's not broken, don't fix it, kind of a thing. But you find out that you're not fulfilled. It's like something is missing, and maybe you're just afraid to taking that step or taking that decision to making that change. But just know that as a result of that change, fulfillment can come from it as well. And again, change helps to build resilience. Change strengthens our ability to bounce back from adversity. I mean, life is not a bed of roses, even though we do have bed of roses in there somewhere here and there. But if you look back, you find out that the things you've gone through, the changes you may have gone through, has kind of helped strengthened you some more, and you've become a source of strength to people around you, friends, family, because you were able to bounce back, because it helped you to building that resilience, that tenacity, and you're all the better for it. And now you are like even an expert talking about change, how change is good, how change does this, how change brings about that. Perhaps I'm talking from experience as well. And again, change is good because it brings about purpose. Discovering new paths often requires shedding old skins. Like I said, old habits die hard, but if they are bad habits, please let them die softly. Let them just die, because you need to make a change, a new pathway to living life better. So progress is impossible without change. You want to make progress, of course, from one level to another, there has to be a change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything, really. You find out that they're just going round and round in circle, because they're moving around instead of going up. They're just going round and afraid to go up. George Bernard Shaw said that progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. I want to change some things, not just one thing, a whole bunch of things. My prayer is that God will give us the grace to take that bold step to make positive changes in our lives. Again, like I say, I always like to balance this talk. We can see how change is really important, in any human being's life, really. But let's look at some common reasons why people resist change, why people don't want change, So understanding resistance kind of helps us to move through it better, because sometimes of our own, we might not want to sit down and process certain things. It seems hard. No, this is too much. But this is for me daring us today. Let us look at why we're resisting that change, because there's a million and one reasons why people may resist change. I'm just going to mention a few bits, and you can think of some as well. You can share with us later, because I'm going to open the box up after I finish my talk. We're going to talk some more, share life experiences, so that we can help each other make the necessary change in our lives for our better, or good, for our better. So some reasons why people may resist change. One, fear of the unknown. This thing bringing change. Hey, how am I so sure it's good for me? How am I so sure it's not going to hurt me? How am I so sure it's going to be a good one? How am I so sure it will not be the end of me? All sort of thinking, like you're just afraid, like you're okay where you're at least here, your terrain, how everything goes and all of that. And this change is coming, or this change need to happen, and you're afraid of the unknown. It's always, a sort of thrilling excitement with a bit of danger feel to it. But then you have to sit, you have to think about it, you have to reflect about that change, look at the pros, the cons, pending on whatever change it is that is coming your way. If it's going to be beneficial, if the consequences are way more than the benefits, you might have to think about such a change, or you might have to change that change, if you get me. So another reason why people resist change is comfort in familiarity. They're too comfortable where they're at. It's like, it's just okay. We're not going up. We're not going down. We're just where we're at. But God wants us to grow from grace to grace, from strength to strength. So don't be too comfortable where you are at, especially when God brings a change. Maybe you're the one running away from that change, but somehow, you just find this change coming your way. But you feel too comfortable to take it to take it with all you've got. Don't be afraid. Like I said, fear of the unknown. Try that out. Be bold. Be courageous. As long as it's a positive move, a positive change. Another reason is fear of failure. Some might say, this line of work, I love it, but my grandfather tried it, he failed. My father tried it, he failed. My friend's father that I know, they tried it, they failed. I don't know if this is for me. Who knows? Maybe it's you or your generation that will bring about this change regarding whatever it is. But because you're afraid, you don't want to be tagged as a failure, because people are still reminding you how your forefathers failed and all of that, and you yourself, you have allowed that in your mind, and you're just afraid to take that leap of faith and just believe in that change and just go with the flow. And you're like, no, I don't want people to associate me with failure and and all that. But if you keep thinking that way, you will never take that change. You will never take that opportunity to grow, to know, to develop, and all of those things. So let's really think deep about it. Another reason is loss of control. Like I said, if you're in your comfort zone, you know it in and out and all of that, and now a change comes and is gonna shake you off that comfort zone, and you feel no, you might not be in control, so you don't want that change to happen, but sometimes some change will just take over, whether we are ready for it or not. We just have to learn to adapt, like I said. So you may not want to lose control of things. That's why you don't want change to happen. But I beg to differ with you today. That change might just be what would take you to your next level of achievement. You never can tell. Young Rich, I see you. Thanks for joining. Valios, I see you. User 465, you are welcome. Pamela, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. And one other reason, again, why people can resist change is for emotional attachment to the past. Like I said, even though the example I just gave might be a business, it might be an idea or a dream or something, your forefathers failed, your fathers failed, and you have the passion as well, and you're afraid that if you go into it, you may fail. So sometimes, because of that emotional attachment to past failures, you don't want that change. You don't want to take that step. You don't want to take on that challenge. You don't want to take on that opportunity because you're emotionally attached to the past. You know what? It's a past thing. Today, your future is your present. Your future, your today is what you should be thinking about. What has happened in the past is in the past. How can you make a better change for today so that you're not allowing those emotional baggages from the past weigh you down or stop you from taking a leap of faith, taking that necessary change to making your life better? Don't allow that, because past baggages, they tend to weigh you down if care is not taken. So another one I'm going to mention quickly why people resist change is because of peer and societal pressure to stay the same. Some is once you get a Lamborghini, that's it. You cannot aim higher or aim to have any more dreams or whatever because your pair, everybody's Lamborghini now, and that is it. You don't think there's a need to change. You might even need to change to a Mercedes or to change to whatever latest car. I'm not too good with cars, but you get my drift anyways. And sometimes the society put pressure on people. It's like, if I change now, I might be left out. If I change now, people may not want to reckon with me. Let me just stay the same like the Joneses. I'll just stay here. And in front of that, you miss out on a lot of opportunities because you're refusing to make changes because of the peer and societal pressure being put on you, or you're even allowing, you're the one putting that on yourself, because the society will not come and name you boldly that you must keep this way or live life this way. Sometimes people put themselves in certain bondages that is uncalled for or unnecessary. So resistance is natural, when change is mentioned, but staying stuck because of fear ultimately leads to limitation of potentials. There is no way you will achieve your best or your highest if you refuse to change. Yeah, I see you. Thanks for joining. So let's look at how to embrace and manage personal change or change generally. First thing you need to know is self-awareness. Are you aware? Are you self-aware? Because sometimes your friends, family may say, you need to change, or you need this change. And to them, it's like they're just singing same old song, same old song. But you need to be self-aware. If you feel you need that change, sometimes you might even know you need that change, but you're in denial. So that's even another thing altogether. But when people are clamoring that you need to change or certain things need to change, don't just ignore it. Take it on board. Think about it, reflect on it, and pick the ones that okay, this one for me, you have to change. You need to make these changes. And don't be shy about it. There's no shame to it, because you're trying to be better by yourself to start with. Self-awareness. So the first step is recognizing where change is needed. You know yourself better than anybody else. Even if you have a twin, they might know you in and out, but you know yourself way better than any other person. Ask yourself questions. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? I need to make that change. These are things, as individuals, we need to think on making that change to better our lives, making that change to becoming fulfilled, making that change to achieving that goal or whatever it is. And again, it brings me to my second point. When you're talking about how to embrace and manage change, set small achievable goals. Some people, they're like in their mind is like the clockwork. This thing, this must change, that must change, that, and they're thinking. At the end of the day, 6 months is gone, they have not made any change because it's too much. So sometimes you might have to set small achievable goals just so that you can make that change. Otherwise, you keep procrastinating. Before you know, a whole year is gone and you have not made that change. And you're beating yourself at the end of the year. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, why didn't I do this? So to save that lamentation, break things down into smaller bits, okay? Big transformations often start with tiny, consistent steps. Let's make those tiny, consistent steps. You're committed to it. And before you know, you get to the next level. You've accomplished that before you know. And before you know, you've made that change. And you can look back and like, wow, I have come such a long way. You have to be determined. You have to be consistent, because sometimes it could be hard. So when you break it out into small bits, it's easier to focus on your progress and not perfection. Nobody's perfect. We're not trying to be a perfectionist here, but we're breaking things down so that we can focus on the progress and then move on to the next thing. And then before you know it, you've experienced the total change you are dreaming about or you're thinking about. Again, another way to embrace and manage personal change or change is embrace discomfort. Hey, this one I can overemphasize. Change will bring discomfort most of the times, and that's why nobody wants to change. You don't want anything to come and disrupt your comfort zone. Please don't rock my boat, as some people will say. So you need to embrace discomfort in order to embrace change. Growth often feels uncomfortable. It's hard, it's sacrificial, it's painful sometimes, it's tough, it's like, oh, let's just stop already. No, learn to sit with uncertainty without running from it, because you run from it, you turn this way, it's still coming chasing after you. You might as well just stay, be bold, be courageous, and face it, embrace it, no matter how challenging it is. Think about the success that is going to come thereafter. When you see successful people today, you're like, this person is so successful. You don't know the kind of changes they've had to make. Sacrificial ones, painful ones, discomfort, just to, attain this success the whole world is now seeing. Nobody saw the discomfort. Nobody saw the pain. Nobody saw the agony. Nobody saw their sacrifice. But now they're successful. Everybody's applauding. Everybody's clapping. But they've gone through it. They've sat in that discomfort in order to come out successful. So you may have to learn to sit in discomfort just to bring about that change that we are all clamoring for, especially the positive changes. Again, surround yourself with positive influences. Who are the people you surrounded yourself with? Who are these people? Are they supportive people? Are they encouraging people? And what do you watch online? Is it encouraging content? Do you have mentors who make huge difference in your life, whether they're close by or far away? I remember Miles Monroe. I love to hear his teachings, and thank God for the social media. You can always go on YouTube and listen to his sermons, his conferences and what have you, and he's still blessing people today. God rest his soul. Miles Monroe is past in years now, but you can see his content, what he left behind. He's still supporting people. What are you reading these days? What content are you watching these days? Is it just the ladies doing their thing and all of that, or you watch content that makes you think, wow, I need to make a change. I need to make a difference in my life. If I carry on this way, I might not see progress. Does it bring about, critical thinking in you? And the people you're surrounded with, do they support you? Or are they the one that you're saying, you know what, I think I need this change. I need to make this change. And you're waiting for them, you know what, it's good for you, go on, I'm behind you. But they say, this change, why now? Nobody's chasing you. You're okay the way you are. Some it could be out of jealousy. They don't want your progress. So you better want your progress. Sometimes you find such people around you, but be careful who is pouring into you, because it matters a lot. If people around you are always like, no, you can't do this, they'll tell you 1,000,001 reason why it's going to backfire. They never encourage you, they never support you and things like that. You better run and change the circle of friends you keep, or people you keep around you, if they are that mindset. So again, reflect regularly. Journaling, if you have to, praying or meditating can help process emotions and track growth over time. Sometimes you may feel you haven't made progress and you're a bit concerned. You're like, this change you're clamoring for, you've tried, you've put in the efforts, the energy, but you can't see. Just pray about it, or sit and meditate about it. Maybe there's one or two things you're missing that will really give you that boost. You can pray. For me, as a believer, I love to pray, especially when I get to that point that I know even all my logical reasoning, nothing seems to be coming. It's like I'm just blank, like nothing. oh, I best run to my maker and say, Lord, I'm at a crossroad here. Lord, give me illumination. I need to make this change. I need to do this. Show me the way, Lord. There's so many times that the Holy Spirit really would help me. It could even be in a gathering, we're doing something, and I just hear, and I just say it out, and everyone will be like, I never thought, even me, I'll be feeling good, but I know it's not me, because I mean, of my own thinking, it hasn't come to my mind. So I pray about things because I want this change. I need this change, and it's somewhat challenging. I can pray to God for direction and how to navigate to making that change. Again, seek grace, not perfection. And this one is a bit common with quite a number of people. I've heard clients, and I'm like, are you even gracious to yourself? Have you ever pat yourself on the back and say, well done for the achievement so far? Because they're like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, and it's like, who's chasing you? Fine, you need to make that change. But change, it takes process. Give yourself permission to stumble and rise again. Stumble and rise again. That brings about growth. And you learn because you really want that change. You learn in the process. And the next time you fall, you know, I've fallen this way. I'm going to rise again. I'm not going to fall that way again. You know better. It's brought about growth. Change is a process, not an overnight event. Sometimes we will see that change in our mind's eye, and we're like, we have to chase after it, and it's like, it should happen now, fast, fast, fast. But no, mellow a bit. Don't rush it. It might take a process, and this process may take time. So if you think in your head, I need to make this change right now, make it, that's it. No, it doesn't really always happen like that. So sit with it. It's not an overnight event, it's a process. Give yourself permission to sit with it. Give yourself permission to fall and rise if need be, as long as you're focused on that change. So I'm going to give us, like I said, I'm a believer. I'm going to give us one or two biblical examples on change, perspective on change. If you're a spiritual person, so people of faith, sit close by and listen to this one. Change is part of spiritual growth, and I see it that way as well. My Bible says in Romans 12:2 that, and do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When you renew your mind, it will bring about change, because you find out that, oh my goodness, I thought I was so good at this, but I need to be better. You start seeing your inadequacies, and then you know to make that change. You pray to God to help you make that change, especially if it's a change you're struggling with. So there's a sin that seems that easily besets a man, but you want to make a change, but you just find yourself back there again. Like I say, old habits die hard, but you know that you have to let go of these old habits, otherwise it will not push you into your fulfilled future. So this is what my Bible says. Again, I'll share another one in 2 Corinthians. Ayonite, sis, I see you. Good evening. I hope your weekend was good. Thank you so much for joining us again today. I hope you're going to stay. So if you look at 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creature. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. That means you are a changed person. Your mindset must change. Your heart has to change. Your beliefs have to change. Your behavior may have to change. Especially if you're the one with the bad habits of certain things. I don't want to mention anyone in particular, so people may not feel I'm stereotyping them, kind of a thing. No. But you and I know that. I mean, for me as a believer, I knew something changed in my life the day I said, Lord Jesus, come into my life. Something changed. And I went about reading the Bible, studying the Bible, hearing more of the Word of God to help me really be transformed to this changed person. Someone who's not always miserable, who's not always angry, who is not always, downcasted, so to say. So, if you're in Christ, you are a new creature, meaning God can help you to make that change you want to see. Then transformation is also part of God's plan to refine us into who He designs us to be. Sometimes you may have come across some people, you just find out, is this person human? The way they treat people, the way they talk to people, the way they are generally, you just like, my goodness, I can't believe this person they don't have any conscience. It's like they don't have any sympathy, empathy, what have you. And you're like, Father, change this person's heart or touch them. Even you're praying for this person, you may not know them, but God really wants everyone to be transformed, because He created you and I for a purpose, for a reason. And if we're still looking for that purpose or that reason, best connect back to God. He's the one with the master plan. I'm telling you. Hey, may we find change in God, in Jesus' name. That's my prayer. So let us look at this. Like I say, I always like to balance this. Thank you so much, cause thank you so much for liking the live. Let's keep tapping. Thank you so much, and you can share the live as well to your friends. I've got a goal, or I've set goals for today. Please help me achieve my goals as well today. So let's look at the challenges and setbacks in change, or in personal change. Even when you're willing, individuals may encounter hurdles. And this one I'm saying again, just so that you can go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, but still be focused, okay? So challenges that may come across your way, or that you may face when you're trying to make that personal change. And some maybe something you're going to experience: impatience. You're not patient enough. You're expecting quick result, everything fast. At least you've thought in your head, you've strategized, this is how you're coming about that change and all of that, and you're so impatient, you want it to happen now. Some change may require all the effort, all the hard work, all the energy, but you're not going to see the result until 2 years time. So you may have to build that patience level. You may have to tell yourself, you know what, don't give up, because the tendency is, when you're so impatient, you tend to give up before you even see the achievement. So be careful. Don't be expecting quick result all the time, because you feel you've put in the effort, you've sacrificed enough, you've done this, you've done that. Calm down. So those are one of the challenges someone trying to make a personal change might encounter. Again, relapse into old habits. Just like I said, if you're not patient, you just find out that you've gone back to your old ways. Change often includes falling back temporarily. You might have to hold on. You're putting the effort, keep doing that, keep being positive, and that change might just come. But rather, if you're not patient enough, like I said, you just want that change, or you're just wanting that thing to change right now, quickly and fast, and it's not, you just relapse back into your old habits. You start procrastinating again. You're not even putting the effort again, and all of that. How do you expect to see a growth? How do you expect to see a development? So please be careful, so that you don't relapse back into the old habits. Not being tenacious again, not being resilient again, because it's taking forever, this change. I thought by now I should have seen the result. The way we moan and groan. Human beings, tell me about us. Again, criticism from others, be mindful, is another challenge. Not everyone will celebrate your change. You have to understand that. But guess what? You celebrate your change. You celebrate your change. If you don't have a cheerleader, if you don't have cheerleaders, cheer yourself on. David encouraged himself in the Lord. I love that passage so much. When you're the type that before this one will do, you have helped them. Before this, you have helped them, making sure everybody is achieving and doing their thing. And then when it comes to your turn, hey, some of us are like that. When it comes to our turn, sometimes you even find it hard to ask people, because we're the ones always doing. And then you even manage to summon courage and ask people, they're like, they don't even have your time. You better have your own time. So sometimes criticisms from others might be a big challenge for you making that change. Not everyone will celebrate you. The earlier you got that, the better for you. Let them criticize. Let them say this. Always take it on positively. If people criticize you today, take it on board. Go mull over it. Bring out the positive from it and make it better. Make it work for you. And celebrate yourself. Don't wait for others to always criticize. And they're always criticizing. They never praise you. You better praise yourself. Again, emotional fatigue can be a challenge, for one making that change. Change can be draining sometimes. And without proper rest and reflection, you will be tired. you will wear yourself out, especially when you know that change in particular you're clamoring to see. You put in the effort, you're not resting, no sleeping, not eating well, you will burn out. So take it easy. Take it easy, so you're not the one challenging that change you want to see in you. Rest well, don't get yourself drained, because like I said, change is a process. It's not an overnight thing. It takes process. So the key thing is resilience. You just have to be resilient, getting up one more time than you fall. Getting up one more time than you fall. Definitely we will fall, we best rise up again. Otherwise, if we remain in that falling position, there is no progress, there is no change. It's just stagnancy. And as they say, stagnant water stinks. That's what I've heard, and it's true because I experienced that today. Yeah, anyway, another story for another day. So let's look at real life examples of personal change. I mean, there's so many, you can tap it in there as well if you can think of anyone. We're talking about real life examples of personal change or changes in life. Someone overcoming an addiction and rebuilding their life. They just made up their mind. They've lost loved ones, they've lost money, they've lost quite a bit, and they're just like, you know what, I'm not going to be addicted to this thing anymore. I'm going to change my life. And they go to seek help. They go for their AA meetings, they go for group therapy or whatever it is they have to do. So I mean, if you really want to make that change, you have to make up your mind to want to rebuild your life, to see that change you want to see. Again, an individual changing careers in midlife to follow their passion. Imagine your retirement age is 67 or 60 something, whatever, and at 59, now you're supposed to be piping low and getting forward to retirement. That's when this passion hits you so bad. You even, you're hoping you will retire in that company, and this passion takes over you, and you have to resign and pursue this passion at 59. And people are like, hey, is this no midlife crisis? As people, they'll start looking at you from, hey, old age is catching up on this person, or I'm not sure they're in their right senses, or people will start saying all sort of things. But you know that this change must happen. Otherwise, you will not live fulfilled. Fine, some people don't catch it in their 20s, their passion to follow it. Some, it's much later in life. Some is even after retirement. And people will be like, what have you been doing all these years? How come you didn't pick this up sooner? But then, they too are looking for that change, trying their best and trying and falling and all of that until that moment in time. So an individual changing their career in midlife to follow their passion is someone trying to make that change in their life. There is an example. Another one could be a person letting go of bitterness and learning to forgive. This person has hurt you so much, and you're not happy, you're miserable, they're not happy, they're miserable, and it's lingering on years, 5 years. When somebody mentioned their name, your heart go boom, 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 like that. And it's like, oh my God, why did you mention this person? Maybe it's time for a change to forgive, a change to let go of the hurt, of the pain, of the bitterness, just so that you can be free as well. That is another example of change. A person letting go of bitterness and learning to forgive. It can be a change somebody hearing me right now really needs to make. And I pray God will give you the strength to doing that, the strength to making that change, the strength to find it in you to let go of that hurt, that bitterness, and find it in your heart to forgive whoever it is. That is my prayer. Another one could be a student moving abroad and adapting to a new culture. Some people, their language, the change in the language, you can imagine it could be quite frustrating, and they bring this encyclopedia, these books upon books you have to read, maybe not in your language, and you're like, oh goodness, what have you put yourself into? And then you remember, for me, even though I understand English, I remember for me, I kept thinking that day I'm going to walk on that stage for my graduation. For me, focus, you must graduate, flying colors and all of that. That was my focus to bringing about that change. Was it tough? Oh, yes. Sleepless night? Yes. I was ill. I had to do assessment, submissions, and all of that. Of course, it wasn't easy, but the change made a better FunmiRoyal, I must say. So it could be you're moving abroad and you're scared. Should you? And then opportunity comes and you're afraid to make that move. Just because you're scared, can you cope? Will you survive? Nobody your generation have traveled abroad before, and you're just putting all this negativity in your mind so that you don't make that move, so that you don't make that change. What if it's you that your family too is waiting on to go abroad and study so you can bring good life to the family? Be positive, don't be afraid. Adapt to new culture, adapt to new ways. That is part of the change. It would take time. If I had to start learning, imagine at my age now, start wanting to learn English. Of course, I'll feel frustrated. Somebody's trying to correct me, or I'm not pronouncing well, or I'm not saying this well. My construction is hard. Even as that now, I still feel I'm struggling with the English. So to say, how much mommy just starting to learning English right now? It's going to be frustrating. But at the end of the day, imagine I'm talking, people from China, wherever, they're able to hear what I'm trying to say. So it's good. So change most times is good. Positive change, positive improvement, positive growth, positive development. I don't know how else I can say this, but I'm sure you guys understand what I've been trying to say for the last 30 minutes. So each journey is unique, but the principle is the same. Courage to change. You need the courage to change, and this automatically leads to growth. It leads to your development. It will lead to your fulfillment as well. Truk and Gil, I see you, Queen. Thanks for joining us. So I'm going to be rounding up so that I can bring us up. We can talk some more about this change. Change. Let us change what we need to change in our lives so we can live a better life as an individual. So, change from an individual perspective is both an opportunity, and also a challenge. You want that change, you will be challenged to making that change. So it demands a lot of courage. It demands a lot of self-awareness. It demands loads of resilience, because you may just want to give up when you feel this change is taking too much from you. You have to build your resilience level, your tenacity, and you have to really, I can overemphasize, really be patient. Be patient as well. Change is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more fully yourself. It's not about becoming somebody else, but rather change is about becoming fully yourself, who God has made you to be, in the fullness of you, that no stone is left unturned in your life. That is the change we hope to see, a positive one. So the real beauty of change, as I believe strongly, lies not just in what you achieve, but in who you become along the way. Has that change made you more patient? Has that change made you more empathetic? Has that change made you sympathetic? Has that change made you more understanding? Or has that change made you more proud? Has that change taken away all the humility in you? Has that change turned you to a monster? That is not the kind of change we're hoping to see. So we need to be mindful. As changes come, let's evaluate it, let's reflect on it, and be sure that it's a good and a positive change. That is the only way you and I can contribute to this world, to making a better change in the society at large. Jim Rohn says, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. That is the end of my talk today. However, my one question today is, maybe I've hinted in my talk, my one question for us today is, does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives? Does getting older makes it harder for people to change their lives? That ends my talk. Thank you for listening.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Soleil, I see you.
Rainbow.
Hi, Truk.
The promise, the future, and life.
Or is it Truck?
Let this light that's within
John Fell
me
Cleaning, I see
shine
you.
to the whole world.
I see you, see the light. You're still there. Thank you so much for hanging about.
Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside.
Special lady, I see you. Thank you so much. So guys, that is about my talk for today. Just to expand the topic some more, we have a better understanding. Change, like I said, is inevitable. From time to time, every individual may have gone through one change or the other in their lifetime. Some is still in their future. This change is gonna happen, and my prayer is that it will be a positive and a good change that will benefit your life and the people around you, more so the society at large. So please send an invite. Let's talk some more about this topic, change. Not many people like change, but they want to see success, but they don't want change. You can't eat your cake and have it. Leslie, good evening. I'm just seeing you. I hope you're not just coming now. Angelica, you are welcome. I see you. Thank you so much for joining, because I've just about finished my talk. And thank you so much for the heart me. Guys, let's keep tapping so that others can join us this live. These are things that we don't want to sit and talk about, but people want change. Everybody carrying placard. We want change. We want change. From where? Who? And all of that. Okay, school and homework activity. Oh, there's always something, I know. You see, we have to be patient. It's a phase you're going through. Trust me, a time will come. I remembered when I was doing that with my boys as well. I'm like, four of them. And then after, when we saw them, the older ones off to uni, you're like, okay, 2 to go. And now gradually, those 2 are just about crawling out the door. I'm like, wow, it's getting easier, but then I'm going to miss them. So I can say, let me do your homework for you. They're like, Mom, chill out. Because they've got a hang of it now. So yeah, it will take this sacrifice. Don't worry, that change is going to come when you sit down. They will even telling you their grades in homework, and you haven't helped them. So don't worry. Enjoy this moment, Leslie. Thank you so much for always joining. I appreciate the sacrifice and the support and the love. Thank you so much. Etta, thanks for joining. Let's see who is there. Let's talk about this some more. I'm not going to be the only one talking today. Change is inevitable. We all need change for good in our lives. Change has to happen for us to feel advanced, for us to develop. How are you, Leslie? I hope you are good. Please, don't worry. Those children are brilliant, so they even make your work a bit easier, I guess. Thank you so much. Send an invite. Let's talk some more about this. See the light.
Good evening, hostess.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Just very busy. As I'm talking to you now, I have one more assignment to hand in tonight.
Really? Wow.
And then,
we might pardon you to do your assignment, because I remember those days too. It's like you can't even hear anything. This assignment, he has to go.
and then one of my sons is studying for a maths test for this Thursday.
Wow, good luck to them. All the best.
Book for everybody.
I know. It's a phase you're in now. That's the change you're experiencing now. So don't worry. The reward will come by the grace of God.
Amen. Well, he's in good hands. His mom is a maths person, so they'll work it out.
So meaning you're not a math person.
We tried. I'm more tech. If it's coding, coding, tech stuff.
You have to know math to enter into that coding space.
Yeah, the math. Yeah, the math I understand. Anything else, I'm not interested. If it's not IT mathematics, I'm not interested.
I see. So there are math and there is math. Okay, I get
Yeah, it's just like physics. I can do physics, but I'm not gonna go deep into the whole. Yeah, there's levels to it. So, but those two. The 2 of them, they are math people in the house. They're the math gurus.
That's good. At least you have a guru amongst the 2. I mean, the 2 of you. So at least somebody can always handle that for them. So which is good.
We thank God.
Kudos to Mrs. Leslie. Well done, ma'am.
Well done.
Well done. So yeah, we're talking about change today. You and I know that. I mean, if you look back, like I said to everyone listening, look back to your life in the last 5, 10 years, you can categorically point out that this change has occurred, this change has happened, and all of that. And my one question for us today is, does getting older makes it harder for people to change their lives? Because I gave an example of a 59-year-old who just now discovered their passion, and they're near retirement age, and now they just found this passion, and it's like they're starting all over. So some people might say, well, this company, I'll just stay here and retire, I beg, not chasing anything, let's just leave. Change would, is it does it get harder, when for older people to change their lives? What do you reckon? I mean, I'm just focusing on that because for me personally, change can come about at any time. I've heard of a 80 something going back to uni or going to do PhD, and you're wondering, are they okay? And you see them walking on that graduation day, and people will be applauding. I mean, people will be amazed at what they've accomplished. And this person will not allow old age to stop them, So we have different kinds of people, but this is just for us to talk more about. And you can always bring other angles to it as you understand, or as you want to share with us. It's all good. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you can talk, Leslie, but if not, I can, keep the talk going. Let's see who else is there.
Yeah, well, it's a good point you've made. Some changes take longer than others. It depends on what somebody is developing or building. Even in the plant world, certain plants grow faster than others, and so, like even trees. So it all depends on what one is working on. I think the most important thing, change is, I don't believe change is an age thing. I think it's an issue of the mind and the person's heart. So if you are somebody that's given to change, a good example, I'm going to go to scripture as my starting point. So Joshua and Caleb, they were around the age of 40 when they first entered the promised land as spies. And because of other people's unbelief, they had to wander in the wilderness for another 40 years. No fault of theirs, so they believed though, but somehow they were all locked in. But those two were preserved. And not only did they enter the promised land, I think Caleb was even at the age where he was actually saying they should give him his mountain, and he was over 80. So I think it's in the heart of people, those that want to grow and those that want to just stay the same. It's a heart issue.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a heart issue. I don't think it's more to do with people where they want to go in their life, what they want to achieve, and some people don't want to go anywhere. Because
Really?
and
Or they're
change.
just afraid.
Yeah, they're not ready to grow up. They're not allowing themselves to develop some things in their mind,
That's funny.
because a lot of change is you can learn to change as well. So there's school you can go to, there's courses you can learn, there's information you can research that will help one to gain that knowledge or experience they need to get that change they're looking for. But some changes take longer than others, and it depends on what one wants to change. And that's why I think it's important that people are not real quick to share everything they are doing. Sometimes let that thing take shape, take hold, have a foundation, so that you yourself can now see where it's going,
Yeah.
and not just the second you see a little bit of progress, you just jump around to run. No, sometimes I think it's good to move in silence and let the results show itself.
Yeah.
But
That's good advice.
it all depends on what one is trying to achieve and what one's looking for. And well, we are different rates and paces as well. So again, I would say avoid comparison. You could be working on something that might take you 10, 15 years to accomplish and fulfill, but the journey is just as important as the destination.
Yeah.
And so, because sometimes people can be in a hurry for shortcuts. I need to achieve this thing quick. No, learn everything you need to learn, gain all the stages, everything,
The process. Go
Yeah, the
through the
process. So you
process.
know that thing in and out to the point that when you finally get to that place, you can help others process that journey. And
Yeah.
it will be you know that's most times actually the things that we are getting blessed for are are the journey we've made. Not so much the destination, but the journey
Mm.
that helps one.
Yeah.
You know,
Also
is very
stuff.
important. I think
Mm.
I think some I share this a lot, especially with some of my friends who are our Nigerian parents that they want their children to be doctor law engineer. And I ask them, I ask the parents, is they a doctor law engineer? And they're like, no. And they're like, but I'm paying for that school. I'm like, if you live here in the UK, you can actually go and study that course as well. You can actually go
Yeah.
and learn to be a doctor law engineer. And I said, you can in the UK, you can take 10 years if you want to go and learn that course. But you can go and do it. And if you did it, you probably be a lot more realistic
Yeah.
about the outcome
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of such career as a professional rather than trying to leave it to your children. You can go and learn it too. No one is stopping you. We've heard like you said, someone has in their 80s. I heard one last 2 years ago where the person was 63. She went back to school and graduated at the age of 66 for her first
Wow.
degree.
Can you
And she was saying
imagine?
that when she was about 15, she couldn't finish. They told her to go and study to go and become tailor and seamstress. This is here in the UK. So that's what she did though. When she had finished raising all her grandchildren, she decided that she would go back to school because one of the grandsons was doing
Nobody's
GCSE.
stopping her now. You
Yeah,
know.
and in fact, the presenter that was sharing the news was crying because she
Wow.
said that she can't believe that this woman never give up that dream to go
Mm.
and to go and do her first degree.
Wow.
So
That's okay. Always.
some change take longer than others, but I think you have to be willing. We have to put in the time. That's why I started with Joshua and Caleb. They first saw the promised land, but they didn't live in it until they were over 80.
Can you
Even
imagine?
though they believed they believed though. They're the only two that believed. But
Yeah.
they still went through that 40 years with all the other unbelievers, all the other people that didn't believe.
That's why you need to be mindful of the people you surround yourself with.
Mm.
Mm.
No fault of theirs though. They believed. In fact, they were the ones telling them that we can go. They didn't, but they still held fast, and that's why I believe that God rewarded them with such great testimony and story. We have an entire book of Joshua. You
Yeah.
know, and that's God's faithfulness that God rewards us when God truly rewards even the journey that we make. God, I think it matters more to God who we are becoming than the destination itself.
Mm.
It's very important that we're not in a hurry. And I think that's why people don't endure. And I don't mean I'm not talking about abuse, but endure the right thing. Pay
Mm.
the price to do it right.
You're not
Pay the
patient
price.
enough.
Yeah, pay the price to get the process. Pay the price to don't look for shortcuts, short corners. Pay the price to develop the product. Pay the price to develop the service. That you will get a point where you know it in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the price. Don't be in a hurry the end result is making money. Great, but if you don't have the character to maintain it,
At
what
all.
happens then?
When the money comes and you haven't gone through the process, you're gonna mess
Yes,
it up. Yeah.
exactly. So pay the price. But change is good, and it's good to desire change. I even say, even in marriage, don't stay in the same situation.
Mm.
Constantly look forward to getting better and growing and improving. Don't just be coasting and then eventually live like roommates. Don't live like that. Be planning, be engaged.
Mm.
You know, as rightly said, everybody wants change, but the work of change, not everybody is going to do it.
No, everybody wants to do it. No,
So,
especially when you're in your comfort zone. Like,
yes.
not you.
Mm.
Mm.
I also I will instruct, especially us men. If you are in your marriage, if things are not going to, don't go and change your wife, change your behavior, change your attitude, change your perspective. Yeah,
Let's
you can
yeah.
do something. Yeah, you can do something together. You can have a project.
Leslie, a lot of the times husband want to change wife, wife want to change husband, and then there's this rift always happening,
For
you
new
know?
model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when I see some men going to get my younger woman, I look at them, I just laugh because it's like
Dynamic.
the communication. That's and a lot of them won't. Few have admitted it, but the communication levels are not going to be the same. The generation gap, a lot of things are just going to be. It's not going to be the same. And what you will have is that you will have somebody who's dragging, somebody who's pulling.
Yeah.
But
Care is not
in a
taken.
marriage, have project, have things you want to do. Don't just we are married 10 years. There's no story, nothing, no book, not have a project, have certain things that you are working on developing. Whether you have children or not,
Yeah,
you should
that's
have a
right.
vision. You should be working on something. You should be developing something. You should be looking forward to something, and that helps us to change our attitudes to mature, upskill ourselves, but not even just upskilling, but even change our
To
idea,
grow and
our how we are
develop.
thinking, and learn, and we can learn to overcome. So yeah, change is not easy, but it can be done. It can be done, and the more informed you are, I think it help. The more appreciative you are for the effort you make to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
Thank
point. Thank you. I'll
thank you
drop
so
it
much.
there.
Oh, wow, wow. Thank you so much. I love all the points you brought in. The mindset, the mindset. For some people, if their mind cannot grasp that change, they find it hard to even pursue, or they find it hard to make the move towards that change because their mind is still where it is. Or, like I said, when I was giving my talk, some past experiences that has not really been good is denying people from, taking a faith of leap, so to say, into making that change. Because there's no good thing. Anytime they say they want to make a change, something bad always happens in the past, and they allow that fear to overwhelm them. And they know that this change is necessary, but then they're allowing fear of the past experience to bring them back or to hold them down in a way. And just like Leslie said, it's hard, not always good to go through sometimes. But it's just like gold. A lot of people like gold. This gold, that gold. But if you go and sit down, or you can even Google it, the process gold goes through from its rawness to the gold that everybody wants to have, fire upon fire. It goes through changes upon changes, level of temperature rising, temperature falling, and at the end it comes out beautiful, comes out shiny, comes out good. Everybody wants it. But for us as human beings, like you said, we don't want to go through that process. We just want the end result. But how would you skip the process and just want the end result? Is that really going to be possible? Because I wouldn't know what kind of end result you're going to get. And for every change we go through, it comes a growth, like I said, and Leslie said when he was giving his submissions as well. That growth, you cannot buy it. It's you that has grown. Nobody can take that away from you. Know that. So whatever change you want to see, it will come through sweat sometimes. Sometimes not comfortable at all. Sometimes it's sacrificial. Sometimes it's painful, like, this thing. And then sometimes you have to be so patient because this change you're working at and trying to, make it happen and all, it might take 3 years. And sometimes people don't want to wait that long, like, hey, who have I offended? Who have I, but it takes process. It depends on what kind of change you're chasing after, or you want to accomplish. So yeah, thank you so much, Leslie, for your submission. Esther, I see you. Herman Barclay, I see you. Thanks for joining. Woman of Purpose, how are you? I hope you're good. Happy Monday to you, by the ways. There's a bank holiday Monday coming. Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Just busy, but
Yeah,
not too bad.
busyness of life. I know. Thank you for making that change to stop by today. You say?
Are you starting? Are you starting?
I started already.
I missed the talk. But from what Leslie was saying, and I see the topic is about change. Yes, I mean, change is necessary. It's part. It's the fabric of life. If you think about it, as human beings, we've evolved. Everything has evolved. Technology has evolved. Everything about creation evolves. You can't say to yourself, "Oh, I don't want to move anymore. I don't want to grow anymore. I don't want to change. I want to stay where I am." Because everyone's gonna pass you. You're gonna even get bored where you are.
Imagine a baby or a toddler saying, "I don't want to grow. I don't want to change."
Can you imagine?
If only that were possible. No.
Exactly. Even if that was possible, can you imagine? Only some babies say, I don't want to grow. I want to stay like this. I want to drink milk all my life. I don't want to grow teeth. I don't
want to break bone.
Hey. Change is necessary. And I think we have to, as you grow up, you have to start developing that mindset about change that is part of life and actually learn to embrace it rather than run away from it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like you said, change is not always easy. I was even talking to one of my church sisters, and it was funny because I was sitting with her and her husband, and she was telling me about work. And she's always talking about work, and I keep trying to tell her, you say you're fed up with this place. So what are you actually doing to make the move? Then I said to her, it's because you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Part of you wants to leave, but you're comfortable. And then as soon as I said that, her husband said, oh, so like he was like, oh, so she knows what I've been telling you, and I was like, yeah. I said to her, you are waiting for something. Some people are like that. Some people are programmed like that. They wait for a situation to push them, like a crossroad has to come.
I know, definitely. I know.
Yeah, and that mindset is like, I would say it's like a baby mindset where, it's like all of a sudden your leg starts telling you have to start standing up and you're forced to stand up. Before you know it, you're standing up and then you're like, your leg starts telling you have to move, by force.
Goodness.
There's this thing that we can actually take control. I always tell people this life, you can take control of life. There is a power that you can take. Even God himself says we should go and take dominion. He's telling us we have to go. So there's this thing that you have to take control, and it starts with your mindset. Once you're able to change your mindset and know that, this fear that I have about this thing I want to do, it's normal, but I'm not going to let it stop me. And actually, I'm going to take control over that fear by actually thinking, okay, what is it that I'm fearful of? And what can I put in place to then make sure these things don't happen as much as possible? Because sometimes that's the thing. It's the fear of, maybe people are going to laugh at me. The fear that things are not going to be successful. The fear, but there's things you can do. That's what I'm saying. There's things you can put in place. That's what I'm saying. There is so much power that we can take control of our life. And we don't have to, just let life happen. And I always tell people, don't let life just happen to you. Take control. There's some things like there's a saying says, I pray to God that you should let me know the things I can change, the things I cannot. That's what wisdom is,
You don't waste your time, really.
Yeah. That's what wisdom is. The things I cannot, I leave it to God, and I'm like, hey, this one I can't. But the things that I can, I have to take control. It's like you want a job, yet you're not looking for it. You're not, going to a job center. You're not, putting yourself out there. You're not thinking, okay, let me start reading about a subject or the job. You're not being proactive. You want to sit there until somebody starts throwing tantrums at you like, hey, you need to get a job. Hey, you need to do before you.
Or you're waiting. Maybe the person's hope is you're waiting for the call. They just say, are you looking for work? Yeah, we have for work.
Wow. Miracles like that don't happen, no. If they don't happen, no.
In a way, I experienced that years ago. But then, God knows how many CVs I had sent out, to be honest with you. And these people that called me to come for an interview, I can't remember sending any CV to them. I don't know where they got my CV from. So that can happen in that way. Not that I'll just sit down, no CV out. No. They saw it somewhere. I must have put it maybe Indeed or whatever. They saw it somewhere and they called me. So imagine I'd not put CV out there. I'd not even put out there I'm looking for work. Who's going to call me? No.
All these billions of people on this earth. Who's going to send a radioactive message? Hey, so-and-so is sitting at this address. He's looking for a job, bro. Go and call them. No, you have to be proactive. Like you said, you were being proactive. So when you're being proactive, the thing about God is when we are proactive, he then takes what we've given and multiplies it. But if you don't give him anything, he cannot multiply. He cannot open the doors for you. So therefore, we have to know these things, and these are the keys of life. That once you start changing your mindset and knowing these things, like, you know what, I want a job, or I want to get married, or whatever it is that your goal is. What is it? You know, and then you work towards it. Slowly, you start, you know, thinking like it, walking like it, believing it, and before you know it, the universe will gravitate. God will open doors, and you see how you be there. It's not going to be easy, but the doors will come and the obstacles will come. But because you want it, and that's another thing, you have to want change.
Or need it even.
Or need it.
Because sometimes our want, we don't pursue it as such. But when you know that you need this thing, like your life depended on it, you will put in the effort.
That one, just a want. That one, if you have to stay all night praying for it, you do it. You go on that knees. All of a sudden, the knees are praying. You know how to bring the tongues out. You see, because you need it. But when you don't need it, you think, I'm comfortable. Just, you know, that attitude we have to change, because sometimes we end up, you know, missing out on opportunities because we're too comfortable where we are, and we don't want to put in the necessary work to move on. So, I mean, but the thing about change is change happens in everything, all aspects of life. You know, you can change everything, your habits, you know, anything you really put your mind into. I mean, when I was younger, I used to be somebody who used to always plan, be the planner. But, you know, as I've become wiser in my ways, you know, I plan certain things.
It's good to plan, but then do you put action to the plan?
Yes, but you know, when you overplan too much, it's not a good thing, because that in itself can
always
stop.
have to be a balance. Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. But now I know where to put my effort, and I know that, okay, when you want to make change, you have to be persistent, consistent as well, because the change is going to require you to put all your energy. And that's another thing some people do. They change too many things. Like, for example, I was telling my daughter the other time when it was Easter and Lent. You know, I started off with like, I'm going to give up this. Then before I know it, because my mind wasn't actually focusing, because if I wanted to do it, I would have been planning before, maybe a week or two before it, preparing my mind and my body towards it. But I didn't. Before I knew it, it was here. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to give up this. And it was like, I'll give up chocolate. Within 2 hours, I'm just sitting there eating the chocolate. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to give up this thing. Before I knew it, I was like, okay, you see, this is what happens when you want to make a change and you have not planned. You're just going into it. So as you are doing it, your mind and everything will focus. So, you know, you have to plan. You have to be persistent about it. And every day, you know, you have to be focused on it. You can't just, today I'm in the mood for making a change, and then tomorrow, oh, well, you know, I'm tired, or I've lost the energy, or I'm not motivated, or I'm this, you know. And I think that's the thing. Once you plan these things and you actually want it and you focus on it and you seek out the resources you need, surround yourself with people, like you were saying, the people that you have is needed. You know, if you all of a sudden want to go into banking and you never know anything about it, you know, speak to people, find out somebody who's into it, ask, you know, about it.
I know.
Do your research.
So I'm going to ask you, woman of purpose, I'm going to ask you the same question as well. Does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives?
I would say yes and no, but because I think it's more or less a personality thing. Okay. As part of getting older as well. I think when you were younger, when you're younger, I think you tend to take more chances because you have less responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you can do change. But as you get older and things start holding you down, you know, we all know the things that hold you down. So, you know, it makes it hard because, for example, you know, if you all of a sudden you said, okay, I want to go and live in a different country, yeah, or even not even just if you want to go live in you want to go on holiday. Sometimes it's not just easier to say I'm going to get up and go and do that because you got kids to take care of, the husband, you know, the dogs, the cats, the everybody, you know, even the neighbor. Sometimes,
you know, sometimes I'll sit down and say, God, especially for me, my household, being the only girl, sometimes I'm like, where are these girlfriends of mine? Can they not just come and whisk me away and say, you know what, Funmi needs girl time out or something? You know, if I don't plan it, nothing gets planned, so to say.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank
but
you so
that's
much
the
for the
thing.
knowledge.
So I think as you get older, things can hold you. But then there's a period in life where,
Yeah.
I think Leslie was talking about that lady, where as as your kids get to a certain age, and you can find space to then start refocusing about the things you
Yeah.
know that you want to do. And I think like for me, when I turned 40, it was like a pitney. Thinking just started happening. I was like, oh, I used to want to do this. Why can't I now go and do it now? Because at least the kids are getting to that age where I can be more freedom and I can do this. So I think as you get older, there can be a period where you can start thinking more about those things that you've lost, those dreams, aspirations, and perhaps you put away because of circumstances that happen. You couldn't go to school, whatever. It could be there wasn't money, you got pregnant, you got married, whatever the reason is. You know,
Yeah. But as long as we're not forcing it on our own children, the dreams we did not achieve or they would not chase after. Because a lot of us suffered from that, especially when you're from a family where their forefathers were like doctors, and then your grandfather was a doctor, your father a doctor. Now they want you to make that change, be a
Indeed.
doctor. And you have no clue. You do not want to do that. And then because you want them to be happy, you follow the lineage of your forefathers. And then imagine now at 60, like, at least nobody is, on you like that. And now you want to pursue, imagine if it's a music career or something. Sometimes, yeah, I think that age sometimes may make you feel, it's too late. But I'll say never late than never. I mean, better late than never.
no.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's you. You can stop yourself or you can move yourself, really, because we'll get to a time that all those obstacles will not be there anymore. And you are now caged there. Your mindset is still caged there. Nothing is holding you down except yourself, your mind. So you may have to fight extra to come out from that mindset. It's hard. It could be hard.
yeah, I mean, it definitely starts at that mindset thing. Like I said, I mean, it's funny that you said that because I'm lucky enough that my family was not like that.
Good evening.
I was never pressured to, follow anything. Everything I wanted to do, but then I guess because I'm academic, so maybe if I wasn't, they might have forced me. But because I'm academic, it was always like, go get it. I want to do this. I want to do that. So no one ever had to sit me down and say, oh, what are you doing? So I guess maybe that's the reason. But it's funny you said that because I was speaking to my cousin today. She called me and she said to me, oh,
Good evening.
she wants to change career. And I was like, why? And then she was telling me, this girl has a degree in health something and something. She was telling me, I said to her, so why did you do degree? She said, oh, I just did this with my mom because she kept forcing me that I had to go to uni. I was like, this is my own cousin. I never even knew that. I was shocked. I was like, what?
So that means that trend is still, a bit subtle, but still out there. We need to be mindful as parents. Yeah.
I was like, are you joking me? So she's like, yeah, I just went and did it just to give her to be
No.
happy. And I was like, what? So you mean all this time you have a degree. So now she wants to change career and stuff. So I said to her, don't worry, we'll sit down. I'll make time for you and we'll go through the options and stuff because I'm like, what? I never knew. Honestly, I was so shocked. I was like,
No.
what? And then it's like, because she just did it for the mum, once she did it, she probably just gave the certificate to her and said, that's it, leave me alone. Never even thought about it. And I was
I tell you one, it's your story that brought this. I remember, I think I may have shared it here before, of this guy. The parent wanted him to be a doctor by all means, because when they're talking, my son is in medicine, those bragging and all of that. And then this guy invited both parents to come for his graduation. They were so proud. And he was, top notch because he was a very brilliant boy, man. And then when they now got home, after the party and everything, the guy brought the certificate, yeah? He sat both the parents, especially the father, he sat them down. He now gave the certificate to the dad. Dad, here's your certificate. I'm pursuing, in fact, I'm releasing my first single next week. I'm pursuing my music career. At least I've given you your certificate. That's what you want. Now I'm chasing after my own. Wow. Imagine how many years this person have, Nah.
No, I mean, no, definitely. I mean, I am not of that. I guess because my parents never did it to me, so I'm not of that. Even my kids, I let them choose what they want to do. I've always let them choose. I remember when my daughter was doing GCSE, she was like, "Mom, what do you want me to do for GCSE?" I was like, "Huh? Why are you asking me? How am I supposed to tell you what to do for
My
GCSE?
own, since the moment they're in year 7, the moment they get to year 7 as such, do you know what you want to become in future? Do you know? In fact, the eldest has changed. The first time he learned to cook, he said, Mom, I'm going to be a chef. Chef, everything. He wants to cook water and make it jollof rice. and then when you tell him now, do you remember the time you said you want to be a chef? Say, when did I say that? I said, hey, you forgot. So I'm always like juggling their mindset to start processing that. It's not when you want to do GCSE or you're in college, you're still scratching your head, you don't want to. They'll be like, Mom, chill, still years. I said, no, start processing it now. Start thinking about what you like or what you like to do. You might not know straight away, but start thinking about it. Because otherwise, I mean, I've been a victim of that. I'm not going to force a profession or a course down their throat. So it's best to guide them, really.
Yeah. No, definitely. With the guiding, it's like I said, when my daughter asked me, I said to her, what are you interested in? What do you enjoy in school? We sat down, we went through all the pros and cons and stuff. What you like doing, what you don't like doing. You know, we came to a conclusion of what she wanted to do, and we're like, yeah. But like I was like, I'm never going to choose for you what you should do, because I'm a sole person. When I want to do something, even in my house, everyone knows I only cook when I'm in the mood. Do not ask me to go and cook, because if I cook when I don't want to cook, you ask who cooked that food. It will not be me. Oh, they all know. They'll be like, So in my house, no one forces me to do anything, because they know if I do something from my heart, it will come out beautiful. But if I don't want to do it, you will not like the results. So everybody knows that. So I will never want to.
Maybe you need to change, woman of purpose.
I need to change I need to change before, sir. No, but
the floor is yours now. I can hand over. We have more people in the box.
Oh, yeah, for me, definitely.
Thank you for your submission.
All right, we got Debbie. See, I've been talking long enough for everyone else to come. See, you have to give me the offering later. All right, so Debbie, good evening, Elder. Woman of person, are you an inspirational cook? Hey. No,
you are an inspirational cook. That is, if you're not inspired, you're not cooking.
Well, that must be true then. Maybe that's what I need to call myself. I have to write a cookbook called Inspirational Cook. It's only for those people who are inspired.
Yeah, you see, Leslie, great mind, think alike. I know where you're going. Thank you.
Is Debbie there? Debbie, are you there, or you're busy? You can move on.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
That's the voice I've been waiting for. How are you?
I'm trying to be fine.
You're trying. Hey, why? Why you?
Let's change that narrative, please. What can I do to make you feel fine? You don't have to worry.
It's not that.
Be afraid. No, it's not that one.
It's not that. It's just a fever that decide want to disturb me this evening.
I hope I didn't pass that thing through this. You remember the last time I said I had cold?
That's why I didn't come in.
Hey, I love you. I need you. Yeah, this love you have for me, that you're taking the cold off of me through this medium. I'm afraid though.
My lady, don't get it. I don't have cold. It's just the air fever symptoms that's disturbing me this evening.
It's the same for me as well. No cough. I didn't have cough. Was nose blocked, and in this very hot weather, you can imagine.
I woke up with blocked nose. Used my nasal spray. And then the nurse in my ear starts paining me to my throat. What's that nonsense?
Hay fever is here.
Out. Change the scenario.
I've drunk anointing oil. I've drunk anointing oil.
Amen. It shall be well. It shall be well.
You don't reach that level.
Rub some in your ear and rub some in your nose. It'll be fine. It'll be well. It shall be well. It shall be well.
It is well. It is well. Thank you so much.
I hate medications. I hate tablets.
It's not only you. I know. Hay fever, that one. Hi. We reject it.
And to be honest, there is no medicine. Hay fever medicine they want to tell you that it's not drowsy. It's a lie. If you take it long enough, you will be drowsy. So I tried.
You have to just use
Just use the nasal spray or take pepper soup. Hot pepper soup.
Yeah. Use the nasal spray, you'll be fine.
Hello.
Okay, let's
It's
hear you
okay.
then. Yeah.
What's the topic for today? I see change. What are we changing?
Topic is change. Your life. Change your life.
Change my life.
Change your life. Change your life. No, we're talking about
Yay.
change.
Maybe you should ask Debbie the question for today. Does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives?
For a lot of African people that I know.
Why Africa?
Exactly.
Nobody
I
asked me
didn't
question.
He said, does getting older as an African person
You know, make it generalize it to generalize it.
break it down for us? Let us understand you.
I just answered based on what I know, the ones I have seen. That's why. No vex.
It's okay.
But to be honest, for some people, I would say majority, getting older makes it harder for them to change. And to be honest, it's not just older people. It's not just older people. Even younger people. Change is not easy. As much as they say, oh, change is the most constant thing in life. It's not easy. Depend on the kind of change. If we talk about change of environment, you have to think about it. If they tell me changing environment will make me like I will be having a fever, I'll be having water reaction and everything. I will not leave my country to come here.
Thank you.
You understand? So change. There is change in every. So what kind of change are we talking about? Are we talking about change of career? Change of.
individual, it could be anything. Change generally. It could be changing career, but people are afraid, of the unknown. It could be changing your friends, even. It could be changing anything. Or that change, positive change, anyways.
As much as what is it called? It can be challenging.
Yeah.
It's good to be open to change. It's good to be open to it. The thing is, either we like it or not, season changes, time changes, and everything. So we should be able to embrace change when it comes. We should be open to embrace it. We should be open to acknowledge when the time to change come, because sometimes the time to change from what you are doing to another is very close, but because we are not sensitive enough, we let it go, and so change comes in different ways. It comes in different area of our life. So depends on the season you are in life. But the best thing as human is be open to change. That way you are not constant. No, not constant. You are not stagnant.
Yeah.
Because anybody that is not open to change or is not changing as time change, as season change, maybe it's only the one in the grave that does not change. Because even our body changes as we grow. It's true. Our body changes as we grow.
Tell me about it. Can you fight your body from changing?
You can't change. You can't stop your hair from changing from black to gray. You can only dye it, and as much as you dye it, the reality of it still stands that there is gray hair there. And now it's even as funny as some people in their gene by their 20 they already have gray hair. So you can't stop morning not to change to afternoon or change to evening. But you as human, are you open to change? Maybe that career is no more serving purpose. Are you I think the problem people have when it comes to change is the work to start over again. I said it earlier, it's not easy. Change is not easy. Change is not easy. Easy environment you change is not easy. Whatever it is, it's not easy. But when you are open and you are focused, you'll be able to do it. So the question is, am I really open to change?
Good question.
A lot of people, when their season change, they will grumble through. They will grumble. They won't even do anything. the season has changed. The season they wear is no more serving them. It has changed it's only for them to step into the new season, but they would rather stay in that one place.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, kind of. And the season has changed, and the problem is, as it's changing for you, it's changing for somebody else. So if you didn't pick it up, other people has picked it up. Ó ti lọ nìyẹn. So the thing is, are you really open to change? Do you really want the change? Some people, it's in their head.
Do you even see the need for a change?
So some people see the need. There is always a need to change. My lady, there is always a need to change as human. Some people is their health. Are you ready to change your diet to live a healthy life? Some people is in their spiritual life. Are you ready to change your pattern to get more closer to God?
Wow.
So change comes in. It depends on which area. The problem with we human is we all follow trends. We all follow trend. This is what is trending now. This is what everybody is doing. This is the career everybody is doing now. In our family, we can only be lawyer. Nobody can do something else. You can only be a doctor. And at the end of the day, that person is in that profession and they are not fulfilling purpose.
Yeah. They're miserable.
They are not happy. They are not fulfilling their purpose, and because they want to satisfy or please the elders in their family, they would rather remain there. Some of us are rebellious. No, some of us are rebellious. We are not good children when it comes to this kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, now you go suffer more.
Oh yeah.
If you don't make that change, you are the one that will suffer it.
Definitely.
You are the one that will suffer it. Some people, it's their mindset that needs to change. This is how they used to do it in our family. In our family, they don't marry from here. They don't do this. They don't hit. See, there are some things I know. I can't. When my mom, no, not my mom. My dad was alive. I can't even call him to say, "Oh, I'm eating okra." You say, "Oh, why now?" You know, me, I eat it. I eat any food now, which normally is and if you ask him, he just doesn't like it. Because he doesn't like it, we can't cook it in the house. So everybody see it as, oh, it's what do they call it now? It's a taboo. It's not. I eat it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
While some people will remain in that, they won't even find out if it's good for them.
Reason why, yeah.
They won't even find, because I know my Bible said everything God has called holy is holy. The only thing that is unholy is it can be what comes out of my mouth. Which is why they say we should be careful. Apart from that, I beg. So it's individual. When it comes to change, it's individual. Have you checked your life? What area of your life is lacking? What are you living your life based on what people say, based on what traditional rule of your family, your community, or something? Is that how you are living your life, or you are living in the purpose?
Debbie, you just reminded me. I'm sorry to cut you. I watched a movie not too long ago of this young lady. She's been dating this guy for 2 years. In fact, in the man's mind, they're going to get married. But this girl, when she's hanging out with her girlfriends, they're always talking how Femi did this, Femi carry child chick, Femi this, Femi that. All of them talking about their boyfriend, the way they cheat, the way they treat them and all. This girl would just be quiet because the man was just too good. Because of where the guy was coming from, yeah? He was treated well, he knew love, he needs to care for women and all. So when they're talking about all the bad things their boyfriends are doing, she will be quiet. At some point, it became a shameful thing. She now went to this man and said, I want to break up from you. You don't you know you're too perfect or whatever. What she used the statement, you're too good or something like that, and the guy could not understand. What do you mean? My friends, they're always talking. I said her mindset. And truly, she lost this guy. Truly, she lost the guy. What am I trying to say? Is just based on this story, this thing you just said now, I just brought that to mind. Are you going with the crowd? Your own change is because this crowd, they say, this is the change. Not because you needed that change. So we need to be careful, really.
Actually, for some people, it's not the crowd. For some people, they believe if a man has not slapped them, he doesn't love them.
Because of where they're coming from.
Yeah.
That mindset needs to change.
So it's change. That's why see, to change career is easier than to change your mindset.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chris. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we're coming to her, but okay, thank you. Thank you. You can type something that I can read out later. Thank you for your time.
Or should I
No,
wait for her
she's
to
actually dropped
just,
off.
okay, she's already dropped.
Yeah, she dropped off. It's okay. Thank you.
Some people, the thing is to change career, to change every other thing is actually easier than changing mindsets. You see that
The
mindset,
stronghold.
you can be your own enemy.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a period in my life where I always say, Father, deliver me from myself. Deliver me from me. It's true, because there are some mindsets that you don't even know it's in you until it's time, or until you are in that situation that you realize that something has happened to me. See,
Oh,
this marriage thing you spoke about, there's somebody I met. I don't know where she's from in Nigeria. They said they call them particular Osu or something. This woman is in her 40s. Yeah, this woman is in her 40s, and then she met somebody, and then because the person is from a certain place,
thank you, April.
the parents said she can't marry him, and then blah blah blah. She didn't marry him. At the end of the day, the man treats her well and everything. That's the only man that has treated her well according to her. But then the parents that said she can't marry him, they are gone.
Can you imagine?
But she is stuck with that mindset.
It's like a stronghold, honestly.
Your mindset can be the stronghold against every other thing in this life. Everything the change you can change career, to change from one career to another. It's just for you to go and study and go for some courses and you'll be okay. Mindset. Oh my goodness. Mindset. Some people have been in this United Kingdom of our nation and they are still living in Nigeria over 30 something years.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Their body is here, but their mind and soul is still in Africa. Mindset is the hardest of all the things we need to change. And it takes a lot of conscious decision, conscious action, conscious follow-up, conscious prayer, conscious everything for you to be able to achieve it. If not, you will be stuck with that mindset at the end of your life. So the question is, am I really ready to change? Because while you are changing your mindset, you realize that some friends are not even good for you. They are not even your friends. This church you are going to is not even, you are not even supposed to be there. You are not supposed to be in a certain place. And then before you know it, you start losing people gradually. It's not you losing people. It's just that once your mindset start changing, it starts showing through you that something is not balanced. And it's either they leave you or you leave them. What will happen? Now the problem with people is we are not ready to go through all that. That's where the challenge is. We are not ready to go through all that.
That's true.
You'll be hearing people, oh, how long have you been here? I'll be here for long. Okay, what have you established where you are? Oh no, I have establishment back home. I'm not disputing that. But where you are. Where you are. And the ones that pay me most is we that call ourselves children of God, Christian. We pray, but we are not working. We pray, but our mind is still stuck where it is. Our belief is still stuck to a certain kind of belief. So it's a lot of work when it comes to change. It's a lot of work mentally, in fact physically, everyly. It's a lot of work. The question is, are you ready to go through it? You can be any age and start making changes.
Oh yeah.
You can be any age and start making changes. It's never too late. It's just that some changes can be too late. Some changes are time conscious.
Yeah.
Because the race you can run in your 20s, you can't run it in your 30s, you can't run it in your 40s, you can't run it in your 60s.
Yeah.
So
Some
if
changes
you're
are time sensitive.
yeah, they are time sensitive. Some changes are very time sensitive. Thank you, sir. You can't. There are some. If you change career in your 60s, let's say you were a doctor from when you start to
Good
60,
career.
and then you now change to lawyer. Abeg, before they call you to bar, they will call a younger person.
Yeah.
So it's that's why some things are better not happen. It's better you change it early. They would rather. The problem is not everybody wants to be called the title Omoburuku.
Bad person.
But in most cases, in most family, that title is actually the one that actually come true. If you don't answer that title, you've not done anything well. In most African family, you have to go against all odds, against all rules, against all their patterns. They will have to sideline you.
Black sheep.
You have to be called the black sheep of the family. That is if your mindset, if your mind, your soul is in alignment with whatever you are doing in your destiny. So the question, are you really ready to go through the work? So that's the thing. Change is good, but some change are very time sensitive. So it's better you make the change early.
In life, yeah.
It's better you make it early. Somebody that's having what's it called, problem with diabetes, they are telling you, oh, you need to reduce sugar, reduce this, but you say, oh, don't worry, when I get to a certain, you know from beginning that in your lineage they always have diabetes, but it is you that you don't make the change early. You now get to your 40, they are now dictating it in your bloodstream. But if you had avoided it, so it's really, change is good, but some changes are better made early than leaving it than late, because it can be too late. At the end of the day, it can, yes, there is no time you can't make changes, but some changes can be too late to make. So I rest my case here.
Thank you. Are you back, woman of purpose? Okay, thank you.
I'm back.
Okay.
Eating?
Yep.
What are you eating?
I'm eating diabetes.
Oh wow.
God forbid, though, please. So,
Oh wow.
No. I'm having a snack.
wow, time sensitive. So you see, it kind of tallies back to that my question. Does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives? We're coming back there. Leslie, Asaro again, not Asaro, no.
What's asaro?
Yam pot. Is it porridge or pottage now? This thing is always a debate.
Yam porridge.
Yam porridge.
Okay.
Porridge.
Yeah, I like yam porridge. Nice. Okay. Thank you, Debbie, for that. We can move down to Minister Sarah, is it?
Yeah.
Evening.
Last time Cross dropped off. I think maybe mall or something. Yeah.
Apologize. Yes, I did. Yeah, I couldn't stay. Good evening, Miss Minister Sarah. Are you there?
Are you there? I hope she's not sleeping. No, no. I think she's probably in the afternoonish. Afternoonish. Let's see. She's coming back. Oh.
I'm in the box.
You can't see you in the
Maybe
box.
yeah, I can't see
Yeah,
her in the box. Maybe it's
I
my
can
network.
see.
I
No,
can
I
see you in
can
the box.
see her, but she's is actually posted or something. Somebody was sending an invite and it just disappeared. Oh, Minister Sarah, maybe she's okay. Let me drop her. Maybe she'll come back. There's something going on with the network. Yeah, I'll bring you back up if you can hear me, Minister Sarah.
That's why I
So I
said
think
maybe it's my network because I could see her in the comment section.
Oh,
no, I could actually see her in the box, but she was trying to
yeah.
send the invite again. So let me bring her up.
I said okay.
Hopefully, all this technology sometimes. Okay. Hi, Minister Sarah.
Hi, sorry. I was talking, but I dropped. I was trying to open up the mic because it was
Oh,
in at the bottom. And every time I click on it, it would not open up. And the minute that it opened up, and I was like, I'm here, you were saying, I guess she dropped.
oh, no, I had to drop you, funny enough, because I saw your invite coming in and I could still see you in the box. I'm like, are you using two devices or what?
No.
Technology. But at least you're
Yes.
here now, so yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right. So you were asking, can older people
I
change?
said, does getting older make it harder for people
Okay.
to change their lives?
Okay, getting older, if that makes it harder. I think if a person has always been flexible
Okay.
and open to change, then no. But you have persons that are stiff necked or stubborn, and they are the ones that I think are set in their ways. Like, you know, I would put myself, for instance, I think in a lot of ways I'm stubborn. I am hell bent on my way or a highway in a lot of things, mainly because I'm not easily persuaded. And the reason being is because I think that when I was much younger, I had a lot of challenges, just with making friends, trying to fit in and all of that. And so as life started to hit me, and I had to be a mom, then I mean a wife, then a single mom, and just doing life, I learned that something, you can't be a people pleaser. At the
No.
end of the day, if you contort yourself into every type of avenue that a person wants you or people want you to change or want you to become, you become a puppet to them and they're still ungrateful.
Yeah.
Because yes, they can tell you, you need to try to speak out more. The minute you start speaking out, oh, who she thinks she is, she want to tell people about themselves. Oh, you need to get up out of this bed and go and try to pursue a career or something. You go out there and you open up a business. Who she thinks she is opening up this business? She thinks she better than so
Oh
I
goodness,
have come to the
that's crazy.
conclusion, right? I came to the conclusion that, do what makes you feel good. Because when you do what Sarah wants, whether it fails or whether you win, you don't have nobody else to blame.
It's
And
you.
yes, I make suggestions to people and even with my kids, but I always like to end on a note saying, I'm only saying that, but you make your own choice. Because at the end of the day, I don't want it to be said that, oh, you told me to go and get married to this person and now he is beating me up, or he stabbed me, or, because people do that.
The way
They
Adam did to God, the wife you gave me.
Yeah, exactly. So I learned that, do what Sarah wants, even if the whole world turns against me, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be proud of myself, whether I win or whether I lose. And then in situations, because I have lost things in the past, my mom, I've lost different jobs, lost a baby before, lost my husband. I mean, in my marriage, I should say, not my husband because he's still alive, my ex-husband. Lost in relationships. You know what kept me from falling under and being crushed? Because like I tell people all of the times, I always expect the unexpected. So I make way for me to make mistakes. And then I don't beat myself up if I make a mistake. Because at the end of the day, I know that hey, I'm not perfect and I'm growing. And so, like I said, I think for me, yeah, that'll be a hard thing for somebody to take out of me at this age. Yeah, trying to let me be a transformer or a conformer. No, I am definitely not going to do that. Yeah, it's either ride with me, be my ride and die friend, or just abort ship because it's gonna be a long way. Yeah, but like that's what I think. I think that those persons that are people pleasers, or those persons that have always been able to um change and kind of like be a chameleon, blend into any situation as they get older. I think they, if they haven't learned something different, like to cause them to want to change, like you say, change, they will continue it, because if something is working for you, why change? Why change it? Yeah. And if something is not, then it's up to that person to make the changes that are necessary, to make that change. Before I end, so that is my answer to your question. Now, I heard when I came in, I heard a lady talking about children being persuaded by their parents to become whatever their parents' dreams were. And like she said, in my family, I believe, I haven't heard any of my nieces, but anyway, let me talk about my children. I don't force them to become or do anything that I feel that they don't want to do. Right.
Or you
I
missed
will
out when
support
you were
them.
younger.
Yeah, I won't push them to do anything. And it's so coincidental that I always wanted to be a nurse, but my daughter became a nurse. And then she changed her career when she moved from the Bahamas to another country. And now she is in social work, a social worker. So, I mean, it's still dealing with patients, but in another area. My son, he took up auto technician in school, but when he came out of school, first he was a concierge at a hotel, and then he changed that and became, now he is an electrician. So I think as children grow, they learn different trades, and then from that they pick what they want, because like the lady said, when they are little children, they'll say, oh, I want to be a pilot, but they're not a pilot today. They're an electrician. Another one may say, I want to be a doctor, but no, she's a nurse. Oh, I want to be because my daughter did say she wanted to be a doctor, but she became a nurse. My son said he wanted to fly planes, but he is an electrician. And now the youngest son, he always said that he wanted to own his own business. Well, that kind of like almost played out for him, but he took up carpentry, so he does it freelance as well as working for people, where he does carpentry. So, like I said, I never really pushed them to do anything.
Thank you,
I
Mom,
just
for not pushing your
yeah,
on them, really.
I allow them to do whatever they want to do, and feel like it's in their best interest.
Thank you. My goodness, a lot of my age group, we Gen, what are we again? Gen X or whatever it is.
Well, the next. That's a new
Yeah,
one.
a lot of us, well, from where I come from, a lot of us, that was the norm. It's like they were waiting. The moment you were born, this one will be a lawyer, this one will be a doctor, and they would be on you till. I remembered the system of education in Nigeria at the time. Well, when I was there, you do your junior secondary school and senior secondary school. But most schools have them in the same school, so to say. And I remembered when I did my junior secondary school, the final year exams, I had good grades in maths and sciences that were my topmost. And for me, I wanted to go to the art class because we had an art class, commercial class, science class. And of course, I had A in maths, A in science, and A in maybe, I don't know, one other ones. So this person was my, what do you call them now? The counselor, guidance counselor, whatever they call them back then. And I had filled up the form to go to art class because I wanted this media thing, even though I wasn't still too sure, but I knew I wanted art class. And this man, when I sat with him, said, for me, you had one of the best in sciences, you have one of the best in maths. For me, I think you should go to science because art class, that this man persuaded me. But I was so young, naive. I said, oh, he knows best. Guess what? I taught the art class for my field. I just took the sciences and I failed it. Or what even happened? I think they wanted you to try out first. I was in art class and I'm like, I loved it. So when we're not going through that process, I now switched over to sciences. I didn't start with them with chemistry, physics, and I had to switch over into that. And I'm like, I don't want this, but this man knows best, you know? That has nothing to even do with my parents. This was in school. And I just felt, okay, this is his job. This is what he does, you know? He knows best. So when I switched, initially I struggled a lot with chemistry and physics because I'm like, what do I need this for in art? My mind. I was like, why? But I just said to myself, for me, you're brilliant. There is no subject you cannot handle. So I had to now apply myself. At least I'm not going to fail it, but I'm not going to spend all my energy on that, you know. And math was always my thing anyways, but I wanted something art in nature. So I finished secondary school sciences, which was not what I bargained for. And as God will have it, when I was like 2 years to finish, that was when I stumbled on this radio thing and God brought that opportunity. So I'm like a student doing sciences, physics, chemistry. I'm now in the studio recording. What has that got to do? You know, so you can imagine. And a whole lot. The one I faced with my dad, and I wanted to go to uni, filling out forms. He said, "What mass communication? Are you okay? If you don't put first choice, medicine, university of this, second choice." He was giving me. I'd fill the form. He had to rub it pen. You know when you put spit on eraser to erase. First, he said medicine. Second, if at all, accountancy. I'm like, is this man going to be the one to study for me in this classroom? I'm telling you, so I had that on me. And me, I could not even stand hospitals. Hey, when I'm sick like this, I will hold myself, be smiling, so that they don't know I'm sick, because I don't want to go to a hospital. Now you want me to be treating patients, to be living inside hospital. Now you want to finish me, you know? So I had that as a challenge, but somehow God was just good. Let me put it that way. I eventually had to do mass communication instead of journalism and all of that, but it took me running away from home as such, so to say. But no, I relocated. Another story for another day. So a lot of my Gen X people suffer that. Some of them, they probably don't know any better. And because I suffer that, I said, never in my life would I force my children to do something. Or, okay, my father's dream that I did not fulfill. He wanted me to do medicine. Okay, one of you children, you must do medicine so that daddy will be happy. No, it doesn't work like that, because everyone has been created for a purpose. That change you want to see, especially when you're adult. I was a child. People were trying to mold, guide, and all of that. But when I became an adult, I went straight for what I wanted. Was it too late? No. Can I still achieve? Yes. Better late than never, as they say. So sometimes your journey in life, that change you want to see may not come straight away. You have to suffer through some other people's dreams or changes or whatever. But as long as you know who you are, you know one day you'll have that liberty. Now, when you have that liberty, are you still afraid to make that change? That is the question. I'll rest my case for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't see this name. Where's the name next? Can you see the next person?
Just CN. CN, good evening. I think they've paused their thingy. I don't know.
It
If
looks
they
like
can
it's
hear
gone.
me.
It's done that thing again that it did earlier, where this.
Oh, really? I can still see them in the box.
Yeah, but it's like it's gone faint. Oh, there it's come back. You see?
Oh, okay. And
Now the
then,
pictures come back.
oh, okay. Hello, CN. Yeah. Can you see their name?
I can see. No, I can just see CN. I can't see anything. But the pictures come back because before the picture went back.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe they're there, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay.
CN, can you hear me? You have to unmute. I think I muted them.
Hello, hello, namaskar.
Oh, hello.
Hello, hello. Good morning.
Good evening. I think he stumbled on here or what? Well, let's just support him. He's coming to give us moral support today. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Good morning, Nepal.
Oh, you're from Nepal. Okay, good morning. Wow, imagine. Look at the
English
time.
no. English no.
English.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the support. Thank you, CN.
Ah,
I'll just mute him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Thank
I
you.
think you're right. Like, and I feel like a lot of creative people had the creativity stolen from them because it was like you have to be academic. You have to be academic. You know. But I
Yeah.
mean, can you imagine what the world would be if everybody was a doctor, accountant, and a lawyer, and then who's going to be doing all the other job?
Who's
I
gonna do
mean,
the carpentry?
nowadays you would need an electrician
Who's
to come
gonna
and
do the music? Who's
ah,
gonna do the newscasting?
who's
Who's
gonna
gonna do
make the films to entertain us?
Oh, I'm telling you.
You know, life would be boring. So everything is important. Like I love the fact that like my sister's kids, they're very creative. Like they're doing like plumbing and all this like construction. They really talented like all these things, and I'm like, it's brilliant because like nowadays I say to them, imagine calling someone to come and do electrician in your house. The amount of money they charge,
I know.
and you
And
can't
now
do it
you have
yourself. And you can't do it yourself.
no.
There's no how to
Otherwise,
how to.
you just gonna put the plier where you're not supposed to put.
In fact, I actually have. I remember this a couple of years, no, a few years ago. This was somebody who was privately educated, and he always wanted to do electrician. He wanted to be electrician, but he came from this very well-to-do family, and they sent him to a private school. And he said that he was doing his GCSE, and he was just looking, and he just said, I'm going to go to university to go and do, I think I don't know what the parents were into. They were, and it was banking. It was banking. And he just said that he had this. He had an opportunity to go and do like a internship for an electric company, not even engineering, like proper electrician.
Yeah.
And he went to go and do the electrician course. He said after he finished GCSE, he told his parents, "I'm not doing no degree. I'm going to go and study." Yeah, this is it has a very good
It
ending.
sounds funny
And
because a lot of us are victim of this thing.
yeah, he was actually British, and he said that his parents were very strict that they must do banking. They sent him to go to private school. And he told them after he finished GCSE, he said that's his E2. I'm not even doing A levels. I'm actually just going to go straight and I'm going to become an
I don't
electrician.
blame
And the
him.
father told him that if you do this electrician, I cut you off my will. He said, "Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it." He said that he went to do the electrician. It took 3 years, finished electrician, became a master electrician.
Wow.
He said he remember one time he went to one of his friends from private school. This one was now banker. This was a banker. And
Yeah.
his friend, he saw his friend, and his friend was telling him that I just finished 60 hours in the office. Say 60 hours. Yeah, are you serious? He said, so what do you do? Say, I'm an electrician. Say, my last contract was $250,000 I did for the council. I said, I only worked 25 hours. And the banker just looked at him like, say, yeah. And I said, I have time. Say, I have time. I can do this. I can do this. And the banker was like, me and you switch career. And he was like, he was saying that a lot of them, yes, the prestige is there, but he said that a lot of them is that it come at a great cost. And he said for him, he was so glad that he made up his mind that he said today now that most of his friends, they will call him to come and do their houses, everything. He said the amount of money has made up from them. Now some of them will even be looking at him that, and he said he will do the work and he will go home to his family. He said that his life, he said his dad had his own thing. He said his father now came 10 years later to come and tell him, son, thank you for doing what you did. That I can see you have actually achieved much more and have a better life than what. Yeah, this is a real story. I hear the electrician.
I know. I can just picture that, honestly.
That he was doing a job for the council. They paid him £250,000. He was doing all their light electricity for. Yes, it was the council. That was his pay. It was a contract he was doing. He said a lot of his jobs now are like he actually trains people now.
Do you know the fulfillment in that? Doing what you
He
love
said that his father
actually
came and told him sorry, shook it and said, "Well done." That boy, you have even done better than what I
now
expected.
they'll be proud. My son, the electrician.
Yes, yes.
No, not electrician. My son has got a company, electrical company.
Electrical.
No. We have to do better. We need to do better. Even though we were victims of this thing we're talking about, we need to do better, honestly.
Oh.
But some people still believe that, you know, I won't say it comes from a bad place, because sometimes I think, you know, parents worry. I think that boy that you're talking about, parents worry for their children, and they have a good intention. I will not think that they do it from Africa.
Well,
but it doesn't have a good consequence when the person doesn't want to do it. It's different from a child who is at loss. Sorry, it's different from a child who's lost and not sure what they want to do and coming to you for advice.
Yeah,
but somebody who knows what they want to do,
and
you then persuaded them and say, no, I don't want you to do that. You should do this. That is completely, you know, it's not helpful, because, like you said, when you do what you love, it's a different thing. Like I was talking about, you know, when I want to cook and I don't want to cook. It's when you do something you love. You do it from a different place.
Yeah.
That's it.
Imagine being paid for doing what you love to do. Yeah. That's fulfillment, really.
Of course.
Oh, it is well. Change. Our mindset, you know, that's the most important bit. If the mind does not see the change, there is no way you put action to it.
No. You have to see yourself already there. You know, like he says, if you want a certain thing, you have to be walking in, you have to be believing in, you have to, you know, you have to see it, because the thing is, people are gonna doubt you. Like you know, the parents were doubting that boy, saying, "Oh, you want to do that? I'm gonna cut," because they're saying, "I'm gonna cut you." They probably thought that he's gonna come back begging to them, say, "Oh, I didn't do well," but you know, when he believed and he put his effort and he you know, spent that time building himself up, what more can you say? So, you know, you yourself have to believe in it. And there's, like you said, it starts with the mindset. If the mindset is not there, like, you can force someone to do something, but if they don't see it themselves, the change, it will never happen.
It's just a waste of time, energy, and effort.
They'll start, but then they'll just give up. They'll start and stop. So, yeah, it has to come from a place that you wanted to. Yeah.
Like Debbie said, change could be challenging. Imagine someone trying to overcome their addiction is a kind of change to rebuilding their life. And, you know, especially, for example, someone who smokes and now they want to stop it. And then the day they decide they want to stop, that's when a friend will say, "Oh, I've sent you a gift, a pack of..."
No, but you know what? You saying that, if they really wanted to stop, let me tell you, I have a friend that she used to smoke. And yes, she wanted to give up. One day, she just decided that she's not going to smoke again. I'm telling you.
You will not be tempted.
I'm telling you, she was never tempted. I always ask her, so what happened this time round? Because before you tried. and you don't succeed. What happened this time around? She said this time round she actually wanted. Before it was different reasons, but then when she made up her mind, like you said, she made up her mind that no matter what, even if she goes out, someone's going
That
to
means
offer.
the mindset have
Yes.
changed.
She already. That's what I'm saying. So when even with, because I work with people that have addiction and stuff, and one thing I always tell their family and stuff is that you shouting at that person and telling them, what's wrong with you? Can't you just, I said it's not helpful. The person is not ready.
No.
And they'll be like, oh, but can't you? I said, no, they're not ready. And I can't force someone who's not ready. When they're ready, trust me, you will see it yourself that this person is ready. But when somebody's not ready, they will talk the talk, but they will not walk the walk.
It's true.
They
Yeah,
will not walk
talk
the
is
walk.
cheap. Talk is cheap.
So it has to come. It has to come. The person has to realize that, you know what, this change that I'm going to do, it's essential. Like you always said, it has to come from a place of necessary. Like, it's necessary. I have to change. Like for the season is changed now. We all some of us complaining hay fever and stuff, but we have to change. Start changing ourselves. You know that if you know you suffer hay fever, before you step outside, make sure you got your glasses on. Make sure you're taking your tablet or your nasal spray or whatever. You have to change with the season. You can't say, well, I'm not going to change. And you're going to go out there, you're going to get blocked up, your nose is going to start, and you're going to suffer. So sometimes, these are the things you have to take charge. Seasons change. What do I need to do? Okay, I'm going to do A, Y, Z so that I can continue to grow and live and go to work and do everything. But if you're going to fight it, you're going to win. You're going to lose. Change will always win. You're going to lose.
Oh, because it wants to happen. Yeah.
It wants to happen. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
So, that's just those things. Those things, once you realize these truths, what's that? Face mask. Yeah, it's true. No, you're right. No, you're right.
If you're wearing face mask in this, people would think you have COVID though.
Well, but you're trying to protect yourself. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I know. But it does help though. Yeah. Even the glasses help, to be honest with you. And taking your thing, using your treatment early before you step out, it helps a lot. Because sometimes what people forget, especially with hay fever, I know we're going off topic. If you don't do it and you go out and then it starts and then you start using the treatment, it doesn't work. Because the pollen's already working, So you're defeating the object. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. I mean, the example was it Leslie that gave, and the example I gave. Some people, when we feel, because the way we've set certain things to be normal, certain things to be abnormal, if at age of 55 or 60 is when I now say, oh my God, this is what I'm passionate about, I want to change career to this, people will look at it as midlife crisis. Not knowing that maybe it's something this person has struggled with all their life, and they now decided, okay, I'm going to make this change. That's why sometimes when you tell people or when you decide to make that change, not everybody will support you. Not everybody will be there cheering you. Well done, good move. They will look at it, at 60. They will mock you, they will make you feel ashamed even. So if you're not convicted in that change, they will change your mind.
Yeah, you give
Then you're going to be most miserable all the rest of your life, so to say. So don't look at it when we say midlife crisis or whatever. As long as you know why you're making that change, it's something necessary. It's not or something needed for you to do. Do not mind people. You may not get one person to even support it, but be true to yourself. Oh, Olumi, good evening, sis. How are you? You're welcome. Oh, how are you? I hope you're good. It's been a while. Let's see if we can have you up here. We're talking about change today, and we're just looking at aspects where change can occur. And it could be that a person trying to let go of bitterness and learning to forgive. This one too, it would take your mind to actually let go. Change your mindset. Change your mind out from bitterness to forgiveness. If that mind does not change, if I mention that person's name, you feel like wounding them straight away. And sometimes some people carry this for years and years and years. Bitterness, trying to make that change to forgive, they find it hard to, especially maybe when they've done something so bad, grievous to you, and you're not happy yourself. You're, oh, thank you so much, sis. Thank you for the gift. You're not happy. The person probably is even living their life. You're the one still harboring that bitterness, the unforgiveness. Imagine. And then you now decide, okay, you know what is enough. This person, I'm not talking with them for the last 5 years, but it's like they're still present in your life, so to say. You would have to make up your mind you're ready to forgive and let go. It's a hard thing, but can it be achieved? Of course, yes. How? Your mindset. Let your mind think positive. Letting go will do you more good than holding on to bitterness. I mean, who has bitterness prospered? I don't think I've heard any. So that can be another one. Another kind of change that I mentioned is about maybe a student moving abroad, trying to adapt to the new culture. The one that will finish them first is when they can't find their pounded yam and their goosey soup, and they're giving them full English breakfast. And these people, they don't joke with their pounded yam, you know. And then they want, at some point they will tell themselves, you better learn to change. If you don't eat fries, fish and chips, chicken, fish fingers or whatever, you may not just survive to come and study or as a student, you know. Or you learn to cook your food. If you can't find it in your environment, God helping you, you can order online or something. But at some point, how long do you want to keep that? You would have to change and adapt to your environment so that you're not miserable, so that you're okay, you can study and get your good grades and move on. So there's so many scenarios where people may have to decide that change has to come. You need to develop courage, because like everybody literally have said here, good evening Olumi, good to see you. I hope you're good. Everybody have said here, your mindset goes a long way. Not really about your age. You can achieve anything when you put your mind to it, really. So change is inevitable as long as it's a positive change to making you a better you, not a better everybody or the society, you. And well, let's see, Olumi, you're welcome. I know you're just joining us. I don't know. I think I saw you earlier when I was giving the talk, or maybe it was another time. I don't know. We really missed you. Yeah, welcome. So I don't know what you have to say to us. We're talking about change, and I asked my question after the talk. Does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives? You know, it's just for us to make conversation, because some people may be struggling. They've reached certain age for them to make that big change. They just feel, is it the fear of the unknown and a whole lot of things? But does getting older make it harder for people to change their lives? What is your take? Let's hear from you, please.
Hey, good evening, namesake. How are you? How are you? It's been a while. I don't think you've seen me. I've only just got in, to be honest, and I was just replying to messages. Then I saw your invite. I'm like, right, before I
Thank
doze
you
off,
for
I need to
coming.
go and see for me. It's been
Oh, thank
forever. How are you, sis?
you to see you.
Good. How is the family as well? Everybody doing
Oh, we
okay?
bless God. Thank God,
Yes,
everyone.
sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. Yes. On your topic, I'll try as much as possible to answer as accurately as possible. But
Well,
from the overview that you've given, I think I'll be able. Yes, age in general put a level of scare into everything.
gray hair, gray hair.
Yes, it puts a level of anxiety into everything. And sometimes, if you don't literally talk yourself out of it, you will incapacitate yourself before you even become unable to do things. Because especially in Nigeria, when when they keep saying that kind of but today, oh, sorry for those of you who don't understand Yoruba. It's
Old
just
age is here.
old age is
Serious.
there. And I tell you, for me, it took me a while to start talking myself out of that. Like, no, this will not be my. Listen, I might be advancing in age, but the more I advance in age, the greater my strength and my grace will be.
Amen.
Do you
Amen.
understand what I mean? So sometimes these things I would say, trivially, if you don't start changing your mindset, they can be the stronghold that we are supposed to be, praying to heaven to help us break. So now, age, in terms of change, yes, with age, you have to put everything into factor that, okay, let's say, ask me to change a city now. There's so many things I'm going to have to consider. The fact that, okay, it's a new city, does it apply to my life? Does it, the kids? So, and the older you are, the more commitment you have, yes, the more thought you will put to things before you make those changes, especially when you're asking yourself, how would this decision affect the other person? Do you understand? If you have a partner, you have children who are still, even if they're not dependent on you, maybe they're in that city now, they have a family of their own. How does that impact the extended family, the grandchildren, and all whatnot? So yes, as much as we want to say, yeah, it wouldn't really apply as such. It has a great deal, a great to play in making those decisions. However, it depends on how you see it. As a person, I would just talk on my own person. I love, because I guess maybe I'm just one of those that my brain can get overly stimulated sometimes. I get bored of things, so I like new things. I like to explore. So I don't think, even when I get old and get retired, I'm one of those that would go from one city to another, because I like to see things. It's just a way that to get myself moving and get my mind working. So with change too, the inability to make change still depends on your personality as well. If you we have people who are naturally like that, they don't like change, they just like settling. As much as I love to explore things, I can be a bit like that too. I'm a person of routine. I like to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, where I'm. Do you understand what I mean? So it depends. Your personality too has a great deal to play in that regard. But with age necessarily be the deciding factor. I think it's a personal choice to say, I'm old now. I don't want to explore that. It doesn't. Do you understand what I mean? So I think it's all boils down to your person. Age, it's not the deciding factor. Yes, it is a contributing factor, but it doesn't decide it overall. Yeah.
Thank you. Like that is a contributing factor, but not the one deciding overall. That's very good. I mean, everybody is free to their opinion. You know yourself better than anybody. And even if 1,000,001 people says to you, changes, and your mind is not even there, you don't see the need for that change, obviously there's nothing that's going to change. So everything boils down to individual really as such. Some have allowed their growing older to stop them from making certain changes, and some people is the fact that they're older, they've made those changes. See, they say this life no balance. So whatever works for you, but as long as it's a positive change, as long as it's a change that will bring out the better you and will better your environment, the people around you, your nation as a whole, as long as that change is not going to cost somebody's life, so to say, we're thinking more positively and positively impacting ourselves and the society, growing, developing ourselves. And we've heard it here, age should not stop you from making that change. Age should not stop you. If it's a career move, don't feel, oh, it's the people in their 30s that are doing that. Me, I'm in my 50s. Let it not stop you. Or perhaps it's even time to start your business and you feel like fear of the unknown and things like that. A whole lot of things that can make people not want to make that change, but they're thinking of success. So focus on that success and just go step by step. If you have to break things down to achieve in process, do that. You're not perfect. Give yourself time. Encourage yourself. Praise yourself. Cheer yourself if you must to get in that change that you need. Especially when you may not have people around to support you and cheer you on. Be your own cheerleader and encourage yourself. Love yourself. Take it easy. Be patient with yourself. That change, as long as you're focused, you will achieve it by the grace of God. Thank you all, everybody. You've made good contributions today. I really appreciate all our contributions. Leslie, thank you so much. Even with one eye doing assignments and mic on and all of that. Thank you so much, everybody. Woman of Purpose, thank you so much for stopping by. At least she came on duty. Now she has closed for the day. Debbie, God bless you. Thank you so much, Elder Debbie, for your contribution as well. Minister Sarah, thank you. The fact that we're able to touch on that, we should not laud that change we did not make when we were much younger. We should not load it on our children, especially in terms of career pursuit and things like that. Help them, guide them. Begin to see the gifts in your children and guide them towards that profession that will be of benefit to them, not to you. Don't say because my father is a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, you too must be a lawyer. The child might have nothing to do with law. In fact, they may even hate investigative movies or whatever it is. So you study your child, know what they like from the young age, so you can help them harness their gifts, help them grow in it. And at some point when it gets to that level, you can do research. My child has this gift. What can they study to help them? Because it's more fulfilling when you do what you love and you even get paid for it. I mean, how fulfilling can that be? Rather than chasing after mom's dream, dad's dream, and you're miserable, you're not happy, even you're earning the money, but you're not happy, you're not feeling fulfilled. So make the change. Be bold, be courageous, make that change you want to see. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but it can be done. Thank you, Minister Sarah. Olumi Onesake, thank you so much for at least you still chipped in something today. We really appreciate that. A13, thank you so much. It took us the likes. I saw the thing when it entered, it was about 8 point something. Before I knew it, I just saw 11 point something. I said, wow, see, A13. Gracias, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for your contribution. I see you, family. You're just coming again. Family life. Let's see. Maybe you can hear one thing from, okay, she's not in there. But thank you so much for stopping by. I see you've been in and out. Thank you so much, everyone. I wish you well. Enjoy the rest of the week. Till I come your way again on Thursday, by the grace of God, 8 p.m. UK time. I will leave you and love you. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. God bless. Bye. Thank you. A13, thank you. I see you still tapping. You're still tapping. Thank you. Thank you so much. Minister Sarah, thank you. Thank you, Sage. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you stopping by. Have a lovely night rest. Thank you. Good night, everyone. God bless.